Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the podcast. This is a special location for this episode. I'm in Athens, amazing city. Last episode we were in New Orleans, this episode we're in Athens. And I've got three big things for you in this podcast. I've got a big announcement, I've got a big lesson, a success lesson for you, and I've got a big opportunity. So that's the plan for what we're doing here. Hopefully you can see the Acropolis just behind me. And I've been here on holiday for a week with my son George, who's 14 and trying his hand at some camera work here. Hi George.
Hello.
And yeah, so amazing place. If you haven't been, definitely put it on your list. It's just incredible. The amount of history here. Just seeing buildings that are 2,500 years old makes you look, I think, at your own issues and your own problems and your business issues in a completely different perspective, in that they're not that big. Like, we're only here for a short time, and it put things in perspective and in context. But yeah, Athens is the birthplace of the Western civilization, birthplace of democracy. It's the birthplace of philosophy, and philosophy means the love of learning, the love of wisdom, which is really, really important, I think, for us and what we talk about here in Optical Success Academy. So yeah, definitely make Athens a place that you visit. So we'll walk and talk through these three things that I've got for you. The first is the big announcement. Let's start with that. So on the 20th of September 2025, I will be releasing, for the first time since 2011, I'll be releasing a brand new book. And it's obviously specifically for practice owners, independent optometrists, independent opticians who own independent practices. So this is something I'm excited about doing, also something I've been putting off for a long time. I've been making excuses. I've been running Optical Success Academy now for 10 years, and I've been busy. I've been, writing newsletters, doing monthly masterclass calls, individual coaching calls, running a mastermind, putting on events, preparing presentations, writing emails and community updates and weekly dispatches, and Conor's just been telling himself, too busy. But now feels like the right time. Again, in our 10th year of doing this, I feel like I've really honed in on our philosophy, or my philosophy of, I think, what makes an independent practice successful in today's market. So I'm really excited about doing it, and I think Athens is, again, the perfect place to announce this and tell you guys about it, because, as I said, Athens is the home of philosophy. That's where philosophy first started, and the Greek word really means the love of wisdom. And I think that's what we lack and what we need as business owners. When we become a practice owner, obviously you've gone to university and school and you've got the skills, the optometry skills that make you a great optometrist. But what you lack is the business skills of being a great business owner. And you have to go and get those skills. So the fact that you're here, you're listening to this, shows that you have that hunger and that desire to go and get those skills. But I think there's another level beyond that, which is really about your philosophy. So getting your business philosophy, not just a random collection of skills, but your real philosophy that guides you, your principles that guide you, success principles that point you in the right direction, so you know how to handle your practice and how you want to run your practice. So that's really what this book is about. It's going to give you what I think is the ultimate optical practice and the principles and the philosophy to creating that. But the good thing is that you get to design your version of what the ultimate practice is for you. You get to define success, because it's your practice and it's your life. But you really need to think about what you want from your practice and what you want your practice to be like and to provide for you. So this book will be my complete philosophy for how to run your business for plentiful profits, for purpose, so it's fulfilling for you, and for lifestyle. So it gives you choices, it gives you freedom, it allows you to do the things that you want to do. And as I said, I've been running my practice for over 20 years. I've been doing this in Optical Success Academy for over 10 years, and I feel really clear about this philosophy, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And hopefully, whether you take all of it or take parts of it, hopefully it will allow you to be 100% certain on what your business philosophy is. So that's the big announcement. As I said, we're launching it in New York on the 20th of September. We're going to be there for a mastermind meeting for 2 or 3 days. So I'm excited to do that, and we'll have a book signing event, we'll have a little lunch party, so we'll have some fun doing that, and that is when the book will become available. I'm in the middle of writing it. I'm writing it every day at the minute. It's a quick tangent, but another success tip for yourself is when you set a goal, tell people about it, announce it to whoever will hold you accountable for delivering on it. So this announcement is part of me making sure I stay on track and stay motivated to make sure that this thing happens, and I'm fully committed to doing that. Okay, so the big lesson is you have to have a plan for your life before you have a plan for your business. Your life, again, here in Athens, this building across the way has been here for 2,500 years. So in the context of that, your life is really short. You get like 80 years if you're lucky. That's something like 4,000 weeks. So that's not a lot of time. So it's sensible to have a plan for what kind of life do you want? What do you want it to be about? You know, what kind of things do you want to do? What kind of experiences do you want to have? What kind of person do you want to be? And most practice owners, most people don't really think about that, but you should. So this idea of your plan for your business needs to come before your plan for your life is really, really important. I think one of the biggest challenges that we hear from practice owners is they're just completely frazzled. Their business is running rings around them, and they're stressed out and they're burned out, and they've kind of fallen out of love with their practice. So almost to the extent where for a lot of people the negatives start to outweigh the positives, and they start looking for, how can I get out of this? How can I walk away from this? Should I sell it? And it's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with the business, it's just the way that they're doing it and approaching it isn't giving them what they want. And it all has to start with clarity about what do you want from your life. So that's the big lesson, and that's really what the first chapter of my book is about. It's you have to have a plan for your life before you have a plan for your business, and the plan for your business has to serve the plan for your life. If you miss that piece of the puzzle, then you can get really busy. You can even get successful financially and be completely miserable because your business is not giving you what you really want and what you had in mind when you set out to achieve that. So a really big important thing that we dive into in depth. If you just build a business and make it successful financially, but you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, you're not doing the things that you enjoy doing, then it's not worth it, because your life is going to be short, relatively speaking. So you want to make sure that you're living a good life that makes you feel good. So the other thing about this idea of the plan for your business coming after the plan for your life, the business plan has to serve the plan for your life. Okay, so the other big thing about this lesson I learned from a book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. He's the first person I heard talk about this concept of your business plan needs to serve the plan for your life. And he talks about this idea of people have an entrepreneurial seizure. So you have a profession, and one day you wake up and you think you can do it better than somebody else, and wouldn't it be a great idea to have your own business? And you just get busy taking action and starting a business without ever really getting clear on, well, what do you want for your life, and what does this business need to provide you with to have a great life? And people just get busy and often spend decades just caught up in the busyness, and that's what leads to this frustration. So there's another great book called Start With Why, and Start With Why is all about, before you do anything, you have to start with a really great answer to the question why. Because why is where the passion lives, why is where your sense of purpose is, why is what gives you great clarity about the outcome that you actually want, the results that you actually want. So if we think about why would you start a business in the first place, yes, probably financial reasons is a big part of it, and being able to earn more money than you could if you were just working in a job. So financial profitability is really, really important. Yet, so many practice owners don't really think about profitability. They just run the business. They don't really understand their numbers. They don't really have any targets. They don't really know enough about their numbers in order to really create the profitability that they want. It's a podcast for another day. So yeah, you probably have financial reasons, but over and above that, that's not necessarily going to give you what you want for your life, because your plan for a great life is not just about money. It's about purpose and being fulfilled and living life the way you want to live it. So I think what a lot of practice owners really want, and why they really start their business, is because they want choices. They want freedom. They want to be able to choose, where they live. They want to be able to choose when they work, how they work, what kind of practice they have. They want to be able to, you want to think about how much time do you want to travel? How much time do you want to take holidays? How many days do you want to work? How many weeks? How many, what time of the day do you want to work? You just want to have choices. So it's really important, I think, to think about that as a business owner. And then when you have clarity around that, that then tells you, okay, this is how I need to set up my business in order to create all this. But without that clarity, you can just end up growing a business without really any plan, any structure. You wouldn't just start building a building or a house without any plan for what are you actually building. But that's unfortunately the way a lot of practice owners approach their business. They just start doing stuff without any great plan. So that is the big lesson, that you have to have a plan for your life before you plan for your business. Okay, so let's talk about the big opportunity. The big opportunity I believe that exists in our industry and is particularly suited to independent practice owners is the eyewear opportunity. So the eyewear opportunity is simply being world-class at helping people look good and feel good in glasses, being world-class at selling glasses and helping people with that whole experience. So I'll talk about why this is the big opportunity. I'll also talk about how it's connected to what we've been speaking about in terms of it serving your life plan. It's also why I'm writing this book. Why does the world need another book? Particularly one for me. Really, I think this is what I've spent 20 years doing in terms of mastering the eyewear opportunity and making my whole business about it. And I think if that's something that you want to add to your practice and really master, then I think I've really got a lot to share with you on that topic. But the eyewear opportunity, the reason that it's important, I think, for serving your life plan is a lot of people, what you want from your business, in addition to financial rewards, you want freedom, you want a bit of lifestyle, you want choices, you want to be able to live the way you want to live. For me, one of the things I do is I live about 90 minutes away from my practice, so I'm not in my practice a lot, and I get to live where I want to live. So I need a business that allows me to do that. I also like to travel a lot with our kids and family. So on average, we take about 9 weeks holiday a year. If the kids are off school, we go on vacation and see cool places. So the business needs to be able to function while I'm not there. So ultimately, I need a business that isn't just dependent on my skills as an optometrist. If my business is just dependent on my skills as an optometrist, then I'm kind of stuck in that business. I'm a bit of a slave to that business. But if I have a business that is really about the eyewear opportunity, then I can build a team of people around me that are amazing at delivering that eyewear experience. So even though I'm not in the practice and I'm away or I'm traveling or whatever, or running an Optical Success Academy event, it's business as usual. It continues and it functions. Even to the extent where last month we had a record month, we had a record week, we had a record day. And for the record day and the record week, I wasn't in the practice. I was on holiday with friends, and all that is connected to the fact we've been so focused on the eyewear opportunity for 20 years. And I've been very clear about why that's important. As part of my plan for my life is to be able to have a business that isn't super dependent on me. So the eyewear opportunity, because I've taken that so seriously, that allows me to have a business that functions really, really well without me in it. And I think that's something that most practice owners want. You want a bit of freedom from your business. You want a team that can make sales happen when you're not there. The other side of the coin for the eyewear opportunity as well is just the sheer amount of need there is. In our market, it's obviously, a well-established market. Most people know what glasses are and what an optician is and what an optometrist is, but it's really commoditized, and there's a big opportunity for independence, I think, to be different and to offer something unique and something that is really just elevates the whole experience of what it's like to choose glasses and buy glasses, and even influence how people feel about themselves wearing glasses. So it's a huge opportunity there, and people will pay a premium to the businesses that do that really well. And I think there is there's this concept of you can do business in a red ocean or a blue ocean. So a red ocean is kind of shark infested, and there's blood everywhere, and there's lots and lots of competition going after the same fish. And a blue ocean is you have the whole ocean to yourself. It's blue, and that's, I think, the opportunity with the eyewear opportunity is there's not that many people doing this, but it's there for the taking for any independent that really commits to doing it well. So I think it's really important to not just think about, focusing on the eyewear opportunity as a way to make a quick buck and increase your sales. Yes, that's part of it, but you really need to master it. And I think it's important to understand that it's not just about the revenue, it's about providing for your life plan and why you probably opened your business and what you want from your business. And to get there, it's not just about, your optometry skills. It's about your business skills, and more importantly, it's about you being super clear and super confident on your business philosophy and your principles that guide you and make you feel confident in what you want to be and how you want to do it, and how you want to run your business. So that's really the bigger thing, and I think that's where purpose comes into it, because for business owners, I think, not just business owners, but I think for all of us, we feel fulfilled when we feel that we're growing and when we're learning and when we're getting better, and we can look over our shoulders and see, between this time last year and where we are today, if we feel that we've grown as human beings, then we feel good and we feel fulfilled, and that's connected back to I think what it means to live a good life, because again, life is short and we know that. So if we can look back over our shoulder and feel that was a great year, I learned stuff, business was good, I dealt with challenges, I did the things that were important to me, I had some great holidays, I learned some new stuff. That's really what it's all about. So it's about getting those things connected, knowing that you have to have business philosophy, knowing that you have to have a business plan that serves your life plan, and the life plan needs to come first, and knowing how the eyewear opportunity is a big part of that puzzle that connects those things together. So that's really going to be the first chapter of the book. There's many chapters of the book that I will be sharing. I'm writing every day, and I'll be sharing various little podcasts along the way on that journey as well. And as I said, we're launching the book on the 20th of September at our mastermind event in New York. So excited about that. So yeah, so this is us at the end of our week in Athens. We are flying back tomorrow. It's been an incredible week. We've had an amazing time. You just about see the Acropolis up there behind us. But yeah, I've enjoyed doing the podcast. Hope you got some things there that you can use and think a little bit differently about your business. And we'll be diving into a lot more depth in the book. It's going to be a 50,000 word book, 250 to 300 pages. I'm going to give you all the juicy stuff. So mark that, circle that date in your calendar, and we'll look forward to getting your reviews. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you soon.